what's up?
Hello.
Tyler, Keith, Sam, plugged on. Going to talk about Mayhem Festival. So Mayhem Festival, it was a popular metal festival from 2008 to 2015. I think was its last year.
2014 or 2015 is one of the two.
Yeah, I think it was 2015 because I remember the last year I went was 2013 with Rob Zombie headline.
Yeah.
Then 2014 I didn't go, and Avenged Sevenfold headline. And then 2015 was the last year with Slayer and King Diamond. So,
okay.
yeah, I mean, Rockstar Mayhem Festival was just fucking awesome. I always looked forward to the announcement every year. Always looked forward to going every year. It was a great touring metal festival. We don't really have that anymore, but apparently it's coming back in 2020. They teased it. They have done various teases. That basically indicates that it's coming back. Now, whether it's coming back as a full tour or a destination festival, kind of like Warped Tour switched to the past 2 years, I think. Who knows? But we're going to go under the assumption that it's a touring festival.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're doing here today is kind of putting together our dream lineups for Mayhem Festival. In a sense, we're trying to be somewhat realistic about it. Metallica's not going to be headlining fucking Mayhem.
Neither is Iron Maiden.
So, yeah, so we're not, like, choosing bands like that. So we kind of put ours line up together, and we'll run through them. So we did 4 bands for the main stage, 2 side stages with 4 bands as well.
So we got 12.
So usually, sometimes it varies, but either way, we got 12 bands. Just have some fun. Why don't we go... How you guys want to do this?
Start with the side stages, just to get some of the side stages.
Yeah, why don't we go, like, your 2 side stages, mine, yours, and then we'll circle back around to our main stage.
Okay.
So, why don't you start with side
my
stage?
first side stage.
And go from, like, bottom up.
Okay.
And with who's headlining that
I was going to
stage.
start in the middle and then go down to the bottom.
And then get...
Yeah. First, I have opening on my first side stage is Counterparts, which they're a band that I like a lot, but
Yeah.
I feel like compared to the other bands, they're not as popular. Popularity and I guess album sales and what people will think they bring in, everything, attractions.
They'd be a good one.
Yeah, I think they would be a nice opening band, get the crowd into it and everything for this stage to kind of go with the theme, I think.
Also, their new album's fucking good.
Yeah, I think it's very good. Yeah. Second up is Stick to Your Guns, which I kind of feels like in that same sort of, compared to the other stage, not that they're totally different in this way, but it's more of energetic. Not that the other stage isn't, but just in terms of like similar styles of music for people that kind of want that sort of thing. Third is North Lane, which they had a new album this year. It was really good.
Can see that.
Same sort of energetic style of music, and headlining the first side stage is Parkway Drive, which I feel like I was kind of thinking like I'd like to see them on the main stage, but I would rather see them headline and have like more songs and like have more of a spotlight on the side stage. I feel like that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that's a good choice. That's a really good choice for a side stage headliner.
And then the other side stage isn't like, not that they're super different. I feel like they're more appealing to different crowds of people, but you could switch back from stage to stage if you wanted to. But opening up on the second side stage, I have the Contortionist, which I still feel like, at least compared to the other bands, they're still an opening act. Second, I have, and I kind of knocked them down a little bit just because of recent years and whatnot. As I Lay Dying, they make their return. I mean, that would be kind of a cool band. And then the third band is one that I really like to see. I was kind of debating on. I would like them to headline. I just don't feel like they're big enough yet. But Soilwork, I think would be like. I feel like they could be big enough to headline. But I had Arch Enemy headlining, which I feel like they would be over Soilwork maybe.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
But yeah, that's
Arch
my
Enemy,
second side stage.
Yeah, Arch Enemy would be a good side stage headliner as well.
Yeah.
They can draw and put on a good
At least
show.
like they kind of appeal to like different crowds of metal, but at least you could swap back between them and whatnot and get a good mix of music.
Yeah. Well, all right, cool. Good shit. All right, so for my side stages, so for the first one, I feel like this genre, maybe it doesn't fit Mayhem Festival, but fuck it, I'm gonna throw one band on there. Power metal doesn't get
power metal
enough
band. I was
love
going to say you're throwing a power metal band
on
on
Mayhem
there.
Festival. I think they'd be a really, you think about Mayhem Festival, it starts at fucking 1 o'clock or whatever, 12, and sometimes there's just that really fun band that could just blow you away really early. Fucking Beast in Black. They probably wouldn't play it, but Beast in Black would be an incredibly fun opening band. Next up, I have Power Trip. I think Power Trip just fucking really fits Mayhem Festival and would be incredible to see on Mayhem Festival, especially with just such large crowds and that energy. That'd be awesome. Next up, I have Knock Loose. I think Knock Loose is another band. I think, I feel like they're one of those bands that could do a Warped Tour, but then also could do Mayhem Festival just with their heaviness and their aggressiveness, and kind of go back and forth there. And Knock Loose would fuck some people up, dude. And then headlining, maybe a little strange going from Knock Loose to this band, but they headlined this stage before. They're big enough to play the main stage, but headlining a side stage is, I feel, perfect for them. That is Anthrax.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever forget seeing Anthrax side stage. What was that, Mayhem 2012?
That was 2012. Yeah, that was my first Mayhem.
So much fun. Like, they were like the perfect side stage band outdoor in the parking lot. Fucking raging. Side stage 2, opening up, I have I the Breather with their fucking Wall of Death. That was awesome.
Get on your feet.
Yeah, nah, just kidding. I'm going to go with maybe the hardest band on my list. I don't know. Just a younger, a younger death metal band, Gate Creeper. I think that's my death metal band of choice to put on here. That'd be fucking great to see. Next up, this stage is maybe a little interesting, but I too have Soilwork. I would love to see Soilwork on a big metal festival in the United States. They need, I mean, they're popular for sure, but they just need way more exposure.
Yeah.
The world needs to know Soilwork. I was listening to their new album again today.
There's so many really
perfect.
good songs on that album.
Yeah. So that would be awesome. Then I have Periphery, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
That'd be a good one.
I really like Periphery's new album a lot, too. And I feel like they could fit in pretty well on a side stage at Mayhem Festival and get a lot of people going. And then headlining, once again, this is a band that could totally be on the main stage, but I feel like headlining a side stage is perfect for them in just their energy. Gojira.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
I feel like Gojira headlining a side stage would just be an unbelievable thing to see. Because they're kind of getting to the point where they probably wouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, if they were to come around and tour here, they would probably play very large venues or theaters, basically. Not like arenas or anything, but still, they're getting very popular. But man, a headlining side stage with all that up in your grill.
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a really good one.
Okay, so my first side stage is, so some of these get a little interesting. So the first one that I had was like the opener of the first one is Code Orange. I think would be a good one to have. So
yeah, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, they're it fits with a lot of that. And then a band I don't know if they've ever played Mayhem before. Death Angel would be a cool.
Yeah,
there's usually one or two thrash bands that usually hang around. Like, so I figured I have quite a few on my list. And then these two slots I couldn't decide on who I would have headline, so I went with the more topical. So the next one is I also had Arch Enemy on here. I think Arch Enemy is a good one for Mayhem, because with the death metal, doing death metal and whatnot, and then headlining As I Lay Dying, since they're back.
I only had them second just because, like,
Especially because the news, you get
I
the,
do feel like they could be big enough and draw enough people, but at the same time, I'm just like, he did like try to kill his wife, so that would knock him down a couple spots.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think Arch Enemy would probably...
Like, if I was organizing,
yeah.
But...
I'd be like, you need to start from the bottom.
Yeah.
You need to build your way back up there, Timmy.
That's fair. And then the other side stage, in a similar note to how you also had a power metal band on here, but I picked a different one. I picked Sabaton. To open up a side stage. I'm like, for a lot of the same reasons, just to get people pumped. And then
that'd be fun.
I also this seems very familiar. I also had Power Trip, like I think because the last album was great. And then the final two is I had Kill Switch Engage, and then headlining was Overkill. I don't know if they've ever done something like that, so I figured put them on. And just because I don't know if Overkill's ever done it, but I think they're they're big enough to headline a side stage.
Yeah,
maybe Kill Switch. You can maybe
Kill
flip flop
Switch would
those two.
Headline,
but
Overkill could be up there.
Could be up there. So I kind of I made this.
They would be fun to see outside.
Yeah, sort of instead of like a club. So yeah, that's what I got.
Another one I almost put on my list to headline the side stage that I feel like would be really cool is Lamb of God. That would be really awesome to see on the side stage, but they are pretty popular.
I bounce back and forth between Sabaton and almost put in Sephirum on there just to see. But Sephirum was, I was like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if that's their scene.
I would love if Mayhem Festival got at least like one folk metal band every now and again, but they probably won't.
Yeah.
The Mayhem Festival, that's the thing, like, a lot of times they very much stick to, like, the American metal sort of stuff, or, newer metalcore. Every once in a while they'll get, like, a fucking melodic death metal band, like Children of Bodom's played it before and stuff, but that's the thing, like, if it's... And I think that's one thing that hurt Mayhem Festival is they just kept pulling from the same group of bands all the time, and they really have to branch out, or at least send some pretty sweet offers to some bands to get them to play. So, yeah. What about your main stage, sir?
Okay. I don't really know. I feel like this would be about right. I would say opening up on the main stage is Amon Amarth, because they opened on the main stage in 2013, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like they've gotten necessarily that much bigger since then. Like, they've really blown up, I guess. I would like to see them further up, but not compared to the rest of the bands. This was a tough one for me because it's sort of like, I feel like they would be much higher because they like sold out Wembley, but Bring Me the Horizon being second, I feel like they would be second from the top. But then I have the third band I have would be Volbeat, and I feel like they would be bigger than Bring Me the Horizon.
Ooh, I think over
by a measure.
That's it. That's interesting. Because I feel like, Volbeat's probably bigger than Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. But either way, I mean, you could almost do it. I know sometimes Mayhem has done it where bands have kind of rotated a little bit.
Yeah.
You can almost have those two rotate all the time.
But I feel like that's a kind of a nice mix of like different styles of music. Then headlining, obviously a band that's been on Mayhem before. They've been on Mayhem before, Slipknot.
Yeah.
Headlining, and they're a good, solid headlining band. They'll bring people in. And
they're like the perfect headlining band.
I would agree. They're the perfect headlining band.
Okay.
I think I might agree too.
I was just thinking because they had like a new album recently.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of my thought going into this was like, okay, if I'm building like a lineup, if I want it for 2020, like who's been relevant recently, who's put out some albums, who's been doing well, and like who would I like to see?
Yeah. So for me, I have a band that I think could also headline the side stage, but would just be awesome to see someone this heavy on the main stage. I also just am not 100% sure if this band would do it because they play some festivals around the United States, but they haven't done any of these festival tours. But fuck it, Meshuggah. I think Meshuggah just opening up a main stage would just be fucking awesome to have someone just that heavy. They're better on a side stage, but just that exposure for them.
Imagine going from Gojira then to like Meshuggah.
I know.
That'd be fucking insane.
Fucking awesome. And then next, I kind of have some bands that have done Mayhem before, but I just think would make just a solid night of metal.
Godsmack.
No.
Five Finger Death Punch.
No.
Trivium.
That was really next guess. Shit.
Actually, I have Trivium next, and I only put Trivium on here because I feel like they found themselves again with their album 2 years ago now. Wow.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
They just and they, you know, every tour they did supporting that album sold out. I mean, people really are back into Trivium again. And they have enough hits that I think this sort of slot on the main stage could work pretty well for them. So, Trivium. Then next up, it might be a boring thing, but I love this band, and I think they are just the perfect, like, supporter to the headliner.
Darkest Hour.
Yes. As blood runs black. No. Lamb of God.
Yeah.
I love Lamb of God, but they are like the perfect supporting band, giving them like 50 minutes an hour to play. They just, and they get people going still, being at that slot. They're perfect for that. And then headlining, I have Slipknot. Slipknot's just, they are Mayhem to me. Like, they are just perfect for Mayhem Festival. They're probably one of the biggest metal bands, if not the biggest metal band out there that would do this. And even with it being a festival, they could still just draw an incredible amount of people. Plus, their new album is so fucking good. So,
and I also kind of feel like them being a headliner is you getting your money's worth, like for the show, definitely. If you know you're hit or miss from a lot of the other bands, like going to see them is kind of worth like most of the price.
Like I think I went to Mayhem Festival 4 years, 2010, 11, 12, and 13. In 2012
was when Slipknot played.
Slipknot headlined, and that was by far the best year that I went. I know they headlined 2009, I think, as well, which that had just like a fucking crazy lineup as well. I think it was them and Marilyn Manson. I might be wrong on that, but kind of a weird combo. But still, Slipknot's just, they're the perfect headliner for Mayhem Festival for me.
Can I guess the 4 bands you have?
Go for it.
I'm not gonna guess Slipknot. Can I guess the 3 of the bands? That
you can guess 3 of the bands.
Fucking Kings of Leon.
All right.
What's that other band called? Alter Bridge.
No, that would have been a good choice.
It wouldn't be
Creed, The Return of Creed.
The Return of Creed.
Alter Bridge and Creed. They just bring a new singer.
Good God. We almost have exactly the same lineup.
Really?
Yeah. So for mine, I have Trivium. Okay. Mostly because of the other bands. So I had Trivium, a lot of the same reasons, you know. Their last album was good, and you know, if Trivium feels like they're just too big for a side stage, is mostly what it came down to. I would have maybe put them on there, but.
Can you guess your next band?
Okay.
Ghost.
No, not Ghost.
Okay.
I don't know if that would work. I mean,
I can maybe see
maybe that's a good one. And then next, I would have Lamb of God because of the 2 ones that come after that. Because Lamb of God's just like you said, there's just a great opener for another band. Then I have Megadeth.
Limp Bizkit.
I know.
Limp Bizkit. That'd be insane.
You know, I would Limp Bizkit would be good. I'd Megadeth. You know, once Dave Mustaine gets back into it, and I know that they were the co-headliner before, weren't they? They were like behind Disturbed, weren't they?
Yes.
They were with Disturbed one of the years.
It was Disturbed, Godsmack, and then them.
Okay, so they were there, and then headlining, I too had Slipknot. So
okay. Are we calling it here? I think Slipknot's going to headline it.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I mean,
is Knotfest still a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So They do Knotfest in various countries. It's just like 1 day or 2 day festivals.
Yeah.
They didn't do it in the United States this year, but they did. Their summer tour was called the Knotfest Roadshow.
Oh, okay.
And it was them. Who was it? Them, Gojira, Fallbeat, Behemoth.
Oof. That's big.
So, yeah.
That's a band, maybe.
Behemoth.
Get Behemoth on
Yeah,
them.
yeah, I can see it.
I like seeing Mastodon on it again. That
Yeah,
cool.
that was part of the reason I'd originally considered putting Tool on here, because I was like, well, Mastodon. I mean, like not like both more can be somewhat more chill vibe music, and I'm like, I could maybe, but then I don't know if Tool would ever do that kind of thing. If it was more of like a destination tour thing, maybe, but if it's like a full on like touring festival, then no.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they would do it. It'd be fucking awesome though.
Yeah.
Their new album's really growing on me a lot.
So
I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm interested in what Mayhem Festival's gonna do.
yeah, depending on the lineup, I mean, it's been a long time since, well, at least for me, I've done anything like that. I'd consider going again.
Absolutely.
I mean, it just depends on I guess mostly the main stage. I mean, who's headlining. So I mean, if it is like Slipknot and literally any other lineups that we all came up with, I'd be down to go.
Yeah. Agreed. And one thing that was just so fucking cool about Mayhem Festival, and it happens at all festivals, just because there's not a lot of like destination sort of festivals around where we are, so we don't get this opportunity. But the fact that you could just meet the bands was just so cool. The amount of bands that we met at their merch tables, just doing signings and stuff, was just so cool. Yeah. And that was one thing I always loved about Mayhem Festival, because it was always like, oh, I'm gonna see that band, but who do I want to meet? Like, who do I want to skip so I could meet them, so they could sign my ticket or get a poster or something? Yeah. That was always fun.
My favorite picture of me that's ever been taken was taken at the Battlecross merch table. It's my favorite. That's like my favorite picture ever.
Fucking Battlecross.
I almost put them on here, but I'm like, I'm not like.
Yeah, they fucking.
If they were a thing, maybe I'd put them on here. But
if a Monomarth plays, I would definitely go dress as a Viking and get a picture with them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome.
I would wear that shit the whole day. I don't care how hot it is or anything.
I met them in 2013.
Did they stink?
Were you with us?
Did we? I might have. Was I? What was I doing? I must have been. Cause I don't know.
They were cool.
No,
did they smell like battle or something?
I don't remember.
But it wasn't like a big. It wasn't like a like. It was like out in the parking lot or whatever, right? I'm trying to think. Was I with you? I feel like I must have been, but I don't remember. I don't know what the hell I would have been doing otherwise.
Yeah.
But selling drugs in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Then a Monomarth comes over.
Dude, I'll never forget.
You got any mead?
Mayhem 2010. It might have been the first year I went, and this was like the first big festival I ever went to too. So it was like, okay, interesting. I'm just in the parking lot, like that side stage area, and this guy comes up to me, just fucking drugged out of his mind. He's like, "You got any heroin, man?" I'm like, "No, go away." Like, you need help, buddy. Damn.
God, that was almost 10 years ago.
I know. I forget who that was. So Mayhem 2010 was Korn, Lamb of God. No, Korn, Rob Zombie, Lamb of God. And I'm totally blanking on the other band on the main stage. But then some of the side stage bands, like In This Moment, was a side stage band when they were good.
They'd probably be on the main stage now.
Maybe. Yeah, Hatebreed was on the side stage, which I could see them being on the main stage. It was interesting. Atreyu.
It's 2011. I threw up watching Suicide Silence.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that. Damn. Yeah, I do remember that. Remember Warped Tour that one year in fucking Camden, how hot it was?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Dude, I got so fucking sunburned.
Yeah, it was like well over 100 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so
pretty sure I had like almost a heat stroke.
Yeah. The amount of people just sitting in the pavilion just to get out of the sun and stuff was crazy.
Yeah, they made it that much hotter because all the people are around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't escape the heat. And then they still wanted to charge like how much for water?
Oh
Like,
yeah, it was crazy.
Out the ass.
Yeah, and you got it. It was like instantly warm.
Yeah.
So.
It's like hot water.
Yeah.
Get your hot water here.
Yeah. Anyways, let us know your Mayhem Festival lineup. Thanks for watching. See ya.